Welcome to Truth, Realness, and Options. I'm your executive producer and editor, Jeff Trotter. Welcome to Season 3, Episode number 7. And today marks a new beginning, a new direction of Tro. I am super excited. I have two brand new co-hosts. You will see them from time to time. We have teamed up and we are super excited. Today's going to be an excellent show. I have co-hosts Claire Hucks and Jacorey Patterson. You will get a chance to know them later on today on the show. But today I have some things that I have to discuss. Midterm election, my thoughts. I'm highly disappointed because I had high hopes on Yvette Fuller. She was the person to become our next mayor. The reason why I say that because if you think about it, she was the only candidate, and yes, the only candidate who went live, kept us informed on what's going on in Shreveport and the major issues, but the citizens have spoken. So unfortunately, it's going to be a runoff between Arsenault and Tarver. So we will find out come December 10th on who will be our next mayor come January or the end of December of this month. So I'm highly disappointed. Louisiana, definitely Shreveport, sad. I'm to the point where I have given up on the citizens of Shreveport. Out of 127,000 registered voters, 37,000 did not even vote. Why do you even waste your time to go register if you wasn't going to use that right? And people say, ooh, it is what it is. I'm tired of that mentality. I really am. And you wonder, things don't change. Nothing for nothing leads to nothing. Do you know how many of our forefathers died for to use that right, but our votes don't matter? If that was the case, why they died? Why they didn't want you to vote? Your vote matters. You better believe it. It does.
Period. He said what he said.
Today we're going to discuss on community and what it means to you. And to me, I already spoke my mind on community. The community has severely let me down. Community is important. And the reason why it's important is because it says it itself. Community. You have to be united. Unity in community. You can't move forward if you don't come together. And that's what community means to me. Let me give you some community announcements. Friday, November 18th, 360 Committee Social Mixer and Toiletry Drive. Non-profits, business owners, leaders, media, and teachers come out for the 360 Committee Social Mixer. The location will be Greenwood Center, 6056 Greenwood Road, Shreveport, Louisiana, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, that location is the Greenwood Center, 6056 Greenwood Road, Shreveport, Louisiana, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Admission is $10, donation at the door, and a toiletry or household item will be donated. This past week, the Serotones played a free show with Bond Plus, and the students with the Renzi Education Art Center performed an original song for the opening of the new pavilion at Caddo Cumming Park. The new performance pavilion is ready to entertain. And if you want to know where it's Cumming Park, if you go downtown on Texas Street, right there, there's a brand new park. They just built a brand new pavilion, and going forth, don't be surprised to see a lot of different artists, independent artists, and they're going to be having some different places going forth. And that was the purpose to bring life in that area. So that stage, a new stage you see, beautiful by the way,
Yes, it is.
it's going to go down. They're bringing downtown back to life. Because at one time, it seems like since the bus terminal moved on Murphy, this downtown just died. So they planned on reviving it, and Caddo Cumming Park rebuilt that area, and it brought back life to the downtown area. Speaking of community announcements, I just want we're going to have some more community announcements going forth. But at this time, I'm going to present to you Moments of Black History. Dr. Gladys West, inventor of GPS technology. Next time you use any navigation software like Google Maps, you can thank Dr. Gladys West. an African-American mathematician known for her contributions to the mathematical modeling of the shape of the Earth and her work of the development of the satellite geodesy models that were eventually incorporated into the Global Positioning System, aka GPS. Yes, it was her sister that invented the GPS. Gladys West, her contributions include being inducted into the Air Force Space and Missile Pioneers Hall of Fame 2018. Dr. Gladys West was nominated and won the award for Female Alumna of the Year at the Historically Black Colleges and University Awards sponsored by HBCU Digest in 2018. West was selected by the BBC as part of their 100 Women of 2018. In 2021, she was awarded the Prince Philip Medal by the UK's Royal Academy of Engineering, their highest individual honor. October 27, 1930 is when she's born, and she's currently 92 years old. So we do thank Dr. Gladys West for her many contributions into our community. Go Dr. West, Gladys West. That concludes this episode of Moments of Black History. And at this time, I would like to formally introduce our brand new hosts, 2 out of the 3. And one of their names is Claire Hutz, and the other one is Jacorey Patterson. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. It's about to get real, y'all. We'll be right back.
All right, hey, how y'all doing? My name's Corey, and this is our co-host, Dina.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Wow, this is a nice mic right here. First and foremost, let's snap it up for Jeff for allowing us to be on shore for the season 3 to talk about such an important topic. My name is Dina. On social media, you can call me Claire. You can find me by Claire. I'm 29 years old, and we have Corey.
What's your age, Corey?
I'm 29 years old.
29 as well.
You also can find me on social media as Jacorey Patterson, Instagram, War God, _war_God.
Awesome. And for today's episode, you guys, we are going to, like Jeff said, we're going to be talking about the importance and the value of community. When I discovered that I was lacking community, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I'm 29 years old and I still feel this emptiness. I did everything society told me to do outside of having kids and getting married. I went to college, I got my degrees, I stayed out of jail. I treated people kind, I got a job, or, I paid my taxes, I got a pet, I got a car, my first car. I'm doing everything society told me to do, and yet I still feel empty. I have, the love of my life in my life, people, who care about me, boyfriends, exes, I did the whole thing with dating, and I still feel this emptiness, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, y'all. I was missing community. How could I forget the importance of community while living in a community? How? That's why I said it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm like, I need to figure out what community is. So on today, we're going to be going into details and asking each other 3 questions. What does community mean to us from a cultural aspect? Is community needed now more than ever? And we're going to also be giving some examples of community that we have seen, this week, this month, this year, and just basically talk about the value and the importance in it and why it's needed, and how do we have we identified community? What does community mean? What does it look like? And we're going to end it with some pieces, a piece about community and some more community announcements. All right, so let's go ahead and start it off. Corey, what does community mean? Oh, and also, this episode was so important to us that we actually did our homework. We have some notes that we wrote right here, very detailed notes. So we're going to be extremely detailed in this episode of what community means to us. So go ahead and start us off, Corey. From a cultural aspect, what does community mean to you?
Well, to me, community is the foundation of my identity. And, you know, growing up in the country is a real tight-knit community.
Sorry.
Thank you. Growing up in the country is a real tight-knit community. You know, we really stuck together, and it had that aspect of, you know, being raised by a village. You know, and it taught me many life lessons and molded me into the man I am today. And in my community, in Vivian, that's where I'm from, you know, sports is really what brought us together. You know, mainly football, basketball, things like that. And we use these sports as an instrument, you know, not only to bring us together, but also to, you know, it helped us, you know, represent ourselves and like bring pride to our community. You know, like when our schools or our local teams or whatever competed with other communities and other schools and were victorious, you know, and, you know, it really helped us, you know, bring pride to us. What about you?
What does community mean to me? Well, my earliest examples of community was, you know, I would say back in elementary school, when my guardians, my grandmother, you know, she raised me at the time, she would, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would be able to go back and reminisce this, but she used to send me to summer camps. I went to Billsbury Park for summer camp, and, you know, I was introduced to tennis. You know, tennis from, you know, a very early, I think I was, I'd say third grade or fourth grade, I was introduced to tennis. And I'm trying to, I hate to say that I forgot my tennis coach's name, but he had such a huge impact, not only on me, but all of the kids. You know, he used to bring snacks, and not only that, but he taught me how to play Uno.
Okay.
And that was very significant for me. And, you know, just having that togetherness and feeling love that somebody would take the time out to teach me a skill of tennis and Uno. So yeah, that was, you know, my earliest introduction to community, and that was what community meant to me, was togetherness and, you know, feeling loved, feeling wanted, somebody taking the time out to get to know you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what summer camp did for me, that, you know, and me just learning tennis. So I would say, yeah.
Okay.
So for the next question, let me ask you, could you tell us some examples of community that you witnessed this week, this month, this year, or growing up?
The community I'm in now, the area I'm in, it's pretty interesting, man. Like there's these two young men, you know, they're around my age, late 20s, early 30s. They've got the kids together in the community, and they've created a flag football league, you know, and they out there, you know, doing their flag football thing, and it's pretty neat to see them come together like that, you know, and that togetherness. And also, like, from a cultural aspect of that community I'm in, like, there's a lot of bike riding. There's a lot of people riding bikes. And
that's interesting.
It's real interesting because I haven't seen it anywhere else in the city. It's like that's their thing they do.
That's cool.
They ride bikes, and they not only do they ride bikes, they personalize them. They're real personalized and individualized and things like that. And it seems like the beach cruisers are pretty popular.
Okay.
They decorate the spokes on them, so that's pretty cool to me over there.
Wow, because it's interesting. Could you tell us, like, where in Shreveport.
Over there, like in the Greenwood area, close to Monk House.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, if you're ever in that area, pay attention to if you see bike riders and count how many bike riders you see, because I actually been in that area before, and he's right. It's a lot of bike riders over there, and it's a lot of different types of bikes out there, different styles, different colors. So I have witnessed that culture over there.
What about you? What are some examples of community that you've seen recently?
Maybe growing up.
Well, recently I want to actually bring up Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I don't know if anybody else saw how our people got together and said, hey, listen, we're going to remember Chad, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to wear white. If that's not community, I don't know what that is. Everybody being on one accord and saying we're going to do this in honor of somebody that has impacted our lives, since we could remember. Chad's been acting for years, in film and things like that. And so in honor of him, I saw community, around the world with our people coming together and wearing white to go see Wakanda Forever. So that's one example that I saw this week. Another example that I saw, I guess like this month, is, with Poetic X. For those who don't know, Poetic X is basically a writer here in Shreveport, a spoken word artist, and he had a residency with Shreveport Regional Art Council, and we went to one of his events, and that's where I met Jeff, and I met Trejavu, that's his stage name, but Trey, I met him there. I'm gonna give a shout out to him. And I met them there, and when I say we vibed on a level to where we're actually going to be working with each other on different, things as far as art is concerned. And right there is an example of community, is, people coming together for a cause, and, taking the time out to get to know each other and love on each other. So that's something that happened this month. What about you then? What about some other examples, Corey, have you seen with community?
As far as growing up, we had this neighborhood Candyman.
Tell us about the Candyman.
His name was Wee Wee.
Okay.
And, just things like that. I like things like that brought us together. Those nostalgic things we can think back and think about. But like Wee Wee, he kept us hydrated and refreshed in the summertime, selling us pops and waters.
And he was like a community person that, like a leader, community leader that you guys, you still remember.
Yeah.
Okay, that actually brings up the Sundays. My aunt Nisi in California. That's actually another example that I want to share with y'all as far as the early remembrance of community. She used to have us come over. On Sundays to, just basically eat and watch shows. It was that important, that we come together to eat, and at the time I did not realize the importance of it, but now that I'm an adult, I see why she, had us do that. And so that's another example of community that I remember, and I kind of wish now, because I don't talk to my aunt, like me and my family, we're estranged, and I feel like, I now know the importance of her inviting us all over. It wasn't just about food, you know what I'm saying? It was about remembering that you are loved, and remembering that, there's a village that you can lean on. You don't have to lean on yourself. And I want to talk about how society pushes so much how we need to find our somebody, how we need to find that one person. And, you know, it just helped me, that moment when she used to invite us over for Sunday, it helped me remember how important it is to have people around you. I know you brought up tribe earlier. Just having people around you to remind you that you don't have to do things alone, because life is hard. You don't have to do things alone. So let's go to the next question at hand. Corey, do you feel like community is needed now more than ever? If so, why?
I feel like community is needed now more than ever, because I feel like we've gotten away from that genuine connection with each other. You know, and I feel that way because I feel like it's all virtual now. It's all online. You know, like granted, there's nothing wrong with the virtual online, you know, communities and things like that, but like I feel like we lacking that in-person, you know, interaction, that human interaction right now. And I feel like that's a problem because it's causing us to lack empathy. We're lacking empathy because we're not getting that in-person interaction like we used to, like, you know, maybe in the 90s or 80s and things like that.
Okay.
And I feel like this is a catalyst in like a lot of the senseless crimes we see people doing. You know, you look at a lot of the crimes today, like the murders and stuff like that, it almost seems like there's just no regard for human life whatsoever when you see a lot of these crimes happen.
No, I totally agree.
You know, we just need that in person, you know. And granted, the online thing is good, you know, because I feel like we get to connect with other people from other places, but like,
it's two sides to a coin. I have met some amazing people online. You know, I have friend groups people that I can't wait to meet in person. I haven't met in person. I can't wait to meet them, you know. But at the same time, you know, I still take the time out to go to the park. I still take the time out to speak to people in public places and help people in public places because, you know, I'm a people person, and you know, when you are estranged from your family and friends, or you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, a lot of us, especially us who have, you know, disabilities and things like that, we have to limit, you know, how much interaction we have around people, but we still have to remember how important it is to be around people. Because we are what? We're not robots. Exactly. We're humans. We're not robots. We're not walking nothings. We're human beings with emotions. And, you know, it's always good to touch grass.
Right.
You know, it's always good to speak to people and say, hey, how you been? How's your family? It's always good to help the next person. And that goes back to what you were saying about, it also goes back to what I was saying about I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is. And what it is community. You know, before we dive into ending the episode, you know, I just want to give an example of some things that I feel like we desperately need. Why community is important is because, you know, the earth is sick, y'all, and the earth is going to fix itself. But, you know, the thing that is making the earth sick, the earth will get rid of it. Simple as that. If we are not on one accord about the sick earth, and I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the actual earth, you guys. The earth is sick. It's showing us that it's sick. You know, if you walk outside, people in Shreveport, if you walk outside right now, it's not like you can walk and go to a tree and pull off food. And, you know, me personally, I feel like that's a problem. You know, so that's why I feel like now more than ever, which is the last question, we need community. We need to be on one accord with a lot of things concerning the earth. You know, we need to start getting serious about recycling, upcycling, and how to make this earth a better place. Because a lot of times we can't just pray things away. We have to actually put in the work. We have to actually get on one accord. And that's why I feel like community is needed now more than ever. We have some pieces. That a poetry piece, and the theme is community. And I'm going to give Corey the floor now. But before I give you the floor, I just want to give a shout out to Poetic X, and he put together, me and some other artists, and basically a community of people to come together and, just do some poetry. So I want you guys just to be looking out for that. Give a shout out to Jukebox Records, Poet on Ya, Speak Poetry ENT, and Poetic Sundays will be coming back at the Pavilion, and everything like that. So guys, I'm going to pass it along to Corey. He's going to be sharing a piece. Tell us about this piece, Corey, and why you decided to pick this.
This piece is a poem by Langston Hughes, and I chose this piece because, like, I would like to see our community be more open-minded and more acceptance of different people, different walks of life, different interests and things like that. I feel like in order to have a community, we all gotta, accept each other for who we are. You know what I'm saying? And this poem is a poem that touched me, when I was a kid in high school. I'm gonna say like the 10th grade. And it just always stuck with me. I always remember this poem. Again, it's by Langston Hughes, and the poem is called The Motto. Okay, and it goes, I play it cool and dig all jive. That's the reason I stay alive. This is my motto as I live and learn, dig and be dug in return. And basically, to me, what that means is, hey, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna let you do you, and I'm gonna dig you doing you, just as you just dig me doing me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we all just need to be our own individuals and accept people for being the individual they are. And if we can do that, we can, make the right steps towards forming a bigger community.
Dope. I mess with Langston Hughes. That was an amazing piece, Corey. Thank you for sharing that. So right now, I'm finna just get off script and get comfortable, because, like I said earlier, community is such an important thing to have, and I forgot. So in ending this episode, I just want to remind people to take away from this is think about your community outside of your immediate family. It's nothing wrong with having a community outside of your immediate family, accepting people for who they are. It's not our job to understand people. It's our job to treat people like human beings. It's not our job to figure out people and get them to fit into a box when we're all different. We have different DNA, so how dare we try to take a person and force them into a box? Where do we learn to not accept people for who they are? Where do we learn that? And I don't want us to answer that question. This is for the audience. Where do we learn that? Where do we learn to fit a mold? Where did we learn to follow strict rules without questioning them? I have a piece that I'm working on that I'm going to be doing on the Poetic Sundays, and the title of this piece is called "How Old Were You and Where Were You When You Found Out That Everything That You Were Taught Was a Lie?" How old were you and where were you when you found out that everything that society told you, that the world told you, that the teacher told you, that the president told you, that the politician told you, that the postman told you, that society told you was a lie? It should make no sense that at 29 years old I forgot how important community was. At 29 years old, I forgot how important community was. I forgot the value of friends. I forgot the value of a neighbor. I have a neighbor right now that does not acknowledge me, does not look at me, does not talk to me, and it sickens me. Where did you learn this from? Another thing, a reason why I feel like people get so far deep inside of things that is in turn hurting them is because it brings an aspect of community. You could be going to a place that's horrible, they treat you bad, you know, you don't have the same values, like they force you to follow these rules and things like this, all because they provide you community. They provide you fellowship. They're giving you something that the soul needs. But in return, you're getting abused and all these toxic things happening to you. Another thing, it's a lot of people that do not want to leave college right now, that want to stay in college forever. Because of the community aspect, they're missing community. They're missing togetherness. They're missing that love. They're missing someone taking out the time to say, you're important, you deserve love. Because growing up, I used to hear a lot, you can't get respect unless you give it. That, to me, that's a lie. Everybody deserves respect simply for being human, simply for breathing. We have this screwed picture of what we feel like people deserve because from passed down trauma and abuse, we feel like in order for me to get respect or love from somebody, I gotta work hard. I gotta have a lot of money. I gotta be pretty. I gotta fit into a mold to get people to respect me and to love me and treat me like a human being. Let me tell you something. My neighbor not acknowledging me as a human being bothers me because I feel like she wants me to tap dance for her respect. She wants me to tap dance for her to give me treatment like no, and I will not do that. I refuse to dehumanize myself to get somebody else to see my value or my worth. But she learned that from somebody. We learn to treat others inhumanely from something, and we need to stop. It's not fun. People do not deserve to feel like they are less than human. I'm sorry. And I just want people to take away from this episode and start asking themselves these questions. Am I being treated like a human being? And if not, why? So again, I want to give a big shout out to Troy podcast for having us on here. Jeff, thank you so much. Trejavu, man, we missed you. We missed you. We missed you. We got you in our thoughts and everything. And we want to just end the episode with, you guys just asking yourself these questions and asking yourself how I can contribute to community or create my own community. All right, y'all. It was nice having you.
All right, y'all.
Peace.